YouTube, it's your boy Barcode. I'm back for another video. Today we're going to talk about a hero that no one likes, no one really uses, and can be used, and I'm here to give that to you. And it's in a dungeon that a lot of people have trouble with. If you like my videos and like my content, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. Alright, as you can see, I already kind of started this run a little early. This is a starter Witch 12 team. Now this is a free-to-play version, however you do have to pull one of the most unfortunate heroes that you ever want to pull, that everyone gets upset about pulling, and that's our boy GUBEG. GUBEG is a speed hero. His ultimate scales off of his speed. He ignores like a little bit of defense on his basic attack. He has a poison on his second skill. And the more speed he has, the more turns he takes. Now, as you can see from my team here, this is your typical Santis, Hakron, Healer, and GUBEG comp. Now, when I think of team comps and heroes that aren't used a lot, I always think about mechanics in the game. And I looked at my boy GUBEG. I looked at his skills and thought, where can we use him? He has really high base speed, so obviously easy to build for like some kind of speed comp. He's got a poison on his second skill, which is good for bosses, obviously, high HP enemies, right? But he is technically like a nuker. So then I thought about the mechanics in the game and where can a speed-based poisoner, it's like one skill, but high speed-based poisoner, where can we use him at? Now you think of Witch. In Witch, the higher speed your whole team has, you're going to be taking turns before the boss. And with Witch, if you have higher speed, it negates the damage on like two of the skills, really. Those two skills include Lightning Storm, which damages all enemies, damage scales with the speed difference between the character and all enemies. She also has a passive that inflicts 2 bleeding for 2 turns relative to lower speed. So if your team has lower speed, she's going to apply some extra bleeds. Now she already has bleeds on her basic, and she has bleeds on another AoE. So starting off, that's a lot of bleeds to begin with, but if you can at least limit one of the bleeds, it's a lot better for damage mitigation. Now really, I feel like this team can only be used with Blackhorn because he has that AoE cleanse 3 turns on his totem, which will get rid of the regular other bleeds and everything like that. Hakron's there for his defense buff to the whole team in his trait, and obviously the HP buff. Santis is the main damage dealer when we get to the boss. She will be putting up a lot of poisons, and GUBEG's second skill, which he obviously goes before Santis, but his poison will let her proc her void encroachment a lot easier. As you can see, he is putting up a lot of poisons. He's taking 3 turns before anyone else, which is very key in this team comp. Now, I think there's a lot of different teams that you could use in Witch, especially if you're using Hakron, Blackhorn, Santis, and the 4th can really be a fill. But I wanted to showcase GUBEG because nobody uses him, right? And I think he is really just made for Witch. And the reason being is if you build him with high speed, over the course of the battle, he's going to be getting more speed. The more speed he has, the more bonus turns he takes. We're going to go over his skills after this battle just to showcase what I'm talking about. But his second skill, his poison, is on a high turn cooldown, even at maxed ability. I think it's like 5 or 6 or something like that, but that's okay. Because he takes so many turns, bonus turns, it's ridiculous. That cooldown comes up pretty quickly. Now, optimally, you really need to have really good gear for this because one, you need everyone's speed. Well, not everyone. I'm going to talk about that too, but everyone's speed needs to be above 215. And the reason that is because when Witch gets under 50% health, she's going to get these lightning orbs. And that's the passive Thunder. When she goes under 50%, she activates Thunder. She gets 5 lightning orbs at the start of each round. If she takes a turn and she has lightning orbs up, her attack releases all the lightning orbs she has left. She will deal 100% damage per lightning orb, so you really want no lightning orbs at all when she's under 50%. You remove one lightning orb when you hit the witch. So we'll get to that eventually, but I say this is a very starter Witch 12 team because it's kind of like how Queen 12 was in the beginning, like mid-game. When you're starting to do Queen 12, the runs are very slow. And that's okay as long as you times 10 it, walk away, make a sandwich, you know what the deal is. That's how it was in the beginning for Queen, unless you pulled a GANGELO super early and just speed through it, right? But the thing is this GUBEG is just made for this dungeon. Once we get the witch to under 50%, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to show all the gear to my heroes after this battle, but the thing is that GUBEG takes 3 hits before the witch. So that will remove 3 of 5 of the orbs. Now, as long as you have 2 other heroes above 215 speed, you will remove all of the lightning orbs, which is huge. Now, if you see in my turn order below, I have GUBEG going 3 times, I have Hakron going, he's built in the speed comp, and that's kind of why I say you really need good gear, because you need the high speed on Hakron, but you need high defense as well to help your whole team with the defense trait. But as you can see, I have those 3 going before the witch. That's 5 turns for sure. Removes all the lightning orbs. And then I have Blackhorn, which is very key. I have hit Blackhorn going after the witch for speed. And the reason being is because I want Blackhorn to be able to heal right after the witch does her damage. And that's even like before the elites get knocked down. But I have Blackhorn healing right after the witch does AoE damage, or putting a totem up or whatever, or even both. And I'll talk about that here in a second. So we are under the 50% phase. So the next round, you'll see the 5 lightning orbs right there. GUBEG takes 3 turns here. And just to note, depending on your GUBEG's gear, if you can have him survive and make him like a nuke build, it works really well, especially when you get his ultimate up and the only person left is the witch. All of his attacks from his ultimate will go straight on her. It does really good damage, especially if you can get him on a Avarice set and do like speed and boots, crit damage in the ring, and attack on the necklace. It's huge damage, and Avarice helps with his ultimate, so it's even more damage with Avarice. So, but I have Blackhorn healing right after her AoE, just in case, they're low or whatever the case may be. But there you go. Queen 12 with our boy GUBEG. It is a long run. It's 11 minutes. But just like Queen of 12, with your long runs in the beginning of, it could have been anywhere between 6 minutes to 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. This will now get you Assassin gear, Faith gear, and really, we don't really need Raptor gear for focus, but I think Assassin gear is really, really huge, especially on certain nukers and on damage dealers that have true damage, because the Assassin set actually increases true damage as well. I also feel like the Faith set is maybe a little underrated, could use a buff, but I think it's underrated for sure. Depending on the healer and depending on the dungeon, I feel like it could be used in Gemini on a healer, like some kind of like hacker and healer comp as well for Gemini. But that's to be seen in the near future. But really, I just want to farm some assassin sets so I can get it on people like Marion Shadowblood, Charles, Ricard, even Elson. I want to see what Elson can do on some true damage assassin set. I probably won't build Elson on this account. This is my main account. But maybe on my Elite Only account, I already have them built. I'm working on a Witch 12 team for my Elite Only account. You'll see that in the future. That's going to be super hard. But there you go, Witch 12. Get your 4-star pumpkin, your 20k jelly. Alright, let's first start out with GUBEG's gear. This is his gear right now. It's literally like a Raptor broken set. Speed in the boots. I have health right now in the ring because I can't get a good crit damage ring with good crit rate and like high HP and defense. Eventually, I'm going to hopefully get him on a super straight nuker build, and hopefully he can survive. Because the gear set I had him on before, where I had him on Avarice and I had him on speed, crit damage, attack, it wasn't 100%. Sometimes he would die, So obviously when you auto, you want 100% so you're not wasting energy. Because honestly, like energy is a lot better now in the game than it used to be, but it's still very concerning. I have defense in the necklace as well, just for survivability. So here's his stats, 13.5k health, 1250 defense, low attack at 2400, speed 231, which is what makes him go eventually 3 times before the boss. I do have him high crit rate, but obviously no crit damage. If you want to optimize his stats for like a more survivability build to help with the poisons, definitely roll the crit rate and boost up the focus so we can land those poisons. He is max glyphed. His abilities, I'm missing 2, which I'll farm probably today, but it's missing 30% more damage on his ultimate and just a 10% damage on his second skill. But his second skill does apply the poison and can apply an extra poison at a 30% chance. So 2 poisons, which is really nice for a second skill. It's a cooldown of 5. However, because of his trait and how fast he does go, he gets bonus turns, lowering that second skill cooldown pretty quickly. He takes 3 turns every round. So if he uses the skill on the first turn, his cooldown will be at 5 on the second turn, and then 4 on the third turn. Next round, he takes 3 turns. So every 2 rounds, he will be able to reset that cooldown and apply poison. 1, maybe 2. I feel like his first skill should be based off of speed, but it's not. So that's why you have to kind of make him a nuker build with high attack, but also high speed for his ultimate. I know there's a speed cap. I haven't done the testing or data to know what the speed cap is. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I'm just being lazy. But if I can build him on an attack, crit damage, attack kind of build, put him on Cursed and Raider, but get him to the speed where he can take 3 turns at the beginning of each round still, I think he's your go-to to witch if you don't have a GANGELO and you've pulled a GUBEG. Obviously, when you get him to a 5th Ascension, he will be easier to build because he gets +1 bonus turn per round per 100 speed instead of 150. But there's your GUBEG. Hacker and I have him on a full Raider set, still needs a lot of work. Once I level up this ring and this necklace, I'm going to try to get GUBEG back on a nuker build to see if he survives. Because GUBEG on a nuker build can obviously help with the ad wave phases, wave 1 and wave 2 as well. But not very good stats, that's why I need to level up this gear. But he has 221, which is perfect, goes before the witch. Now my 2 5-stars, Blackhorn, who is on Raider, full Raider. HP in all the bottom 3. 18,000 health, 1,450 defense, 196 speed, which is after witch, like I was telling you about. A little bit of focus, hopefully land that attack debuff. And then I have Santhus. She is on Cursed and Raider. She has speed in that boot. She's at 221 speed. Make sure she's after GUBEG just so she can definitely proc that Void Encroachment. If there's no poisons up, GUBEG will be able to have poisons up on her, hopefully. 13k health, 1250 defense, but obviously, and she's 5-star, but obviously you saw that she survived no problem. 93 focus, just so she lands those poisons because it's important. But there you go. Here is his purpose, besides kicking animals and reporting him to PETA. GUBEG, our boy. Little goblin man. He's angry, he's got an attitude, probably because nobody liked him. But now here's his purpose. Like I said, I am sure you can replace him with a lot of different heroes on the team. But in that situation, if you do replace him, you have to build that replacement to be above 215 speed. And I recommend your healer to be sped up above 215 speed. But honestly, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to knock down all lightning orbs. GUBEG is a guaranteed. And that's why I like him for Witch 12. Because if you don't use GUBEG, you need those high-speed other heroes to either be on Cursed or have some kind of joint attack type of deal. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I always try to think of heroes that aren't used a lot or different team comps that a lot of people don't use. That's just my kind of thing, and I love doing it. So if you like this video and like my content, sub, like, ding, ding, bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!